To this day.
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 What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Get this. Deontay Wilder states that he would love to fight Oleksandr Usyk. He said this in his latest title. He said, Deontay aims to revive career and work his way towards the Usyk title fight. While many pundits call for Deontay Wilder to retire after the run of the paltry performances, the former longtime heavyweight title holder has ambitious plans to conquer and reign supreme once more. The quest begins today when Wilder will take on journeyman Tyrone Herndon at the Charles Koch Arena in Wichita, Kansas. The Global Combat Collective pay-per-view will be distributed on BLK Prime, Fubo, and payperview.com, okay, along with others. And he had this also to say. He said, if Usyk is still around when the time comes, it's a no-brainer. Wilder told the Ring, I think it would be amazing. I'll fight him if he's ready. But this year is off the table for a lot of people, for both of us. Next year could be full of surprises. He said before that he wanted to fight me, and I hope he still feels the same way. And what he's done has been great, and I'm happy for him. He came in and got opportunities that I couldn't get because I was dangerous. Those are the words of Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. And let me counterpunch. First of all, Oleksandr Usyk did have some interest in fighting Deontay Wilder. But understand when that was, okay? He had interest in fighting Wilder way before he lost to Joseph Parker, okay? In fact, this was when Wilder was coming back to the sport in 2022, okay? So that's almost been 3 years ago. Now, if he didn't want to fight Deontay Wilder anymore, I can pretty much understand that because he's lost twice since then to Joseph Parker and Zhilei Zhang, and there's other people ahead of Deontay Wilder. That's for one. For two, if he does want to fight you, you have to question, why would he want to fight you? What do you have to offer him versus the other guys that fought their way to that particular position to get their opportunity? Right? Because it would be unfair if Oleksandr Usyk just skipped just skipped Joseph Parker, which beat Deontay Wilder, just skipped a lot of these fighters ahead just to fight Deontay. You know, it would make you think a lot differently about Oleksandr Usyk because it would perceive to be somewhat now of a cherry pick, especially now because we haven't had the Herndon fight yet. We don't know how Deontay Wilder is going to perform without Malik Scott. We don't know how he can still punch. You know, since the ayahuasca and the other personal issues occurred in his life, we don't know these things yet. So there's a big question mark on how Deontay Wilder still is currently, right? Now, him saying that, back to what he was saying, you know, he got opportunities that I never received. Well, let's talk about that for a minute. What opportunities would those be? You know, I had a live stream yesterday and we talked quite a bit about Deontay and went in depth with that. You guys should check out that live stream. But to answer the question, what opportunities that Usyk had versus what Deontay didn't because he's dangerous, saying that Oleksandr Usyk wasn't. I have a yin and the yang, okay? I have a pro and a con to what he said. Now, The opportunities that he never had. Well, some of them he didn't get. But, and I'll explain. He did receive the opportunity to fight for Undisputed when he was a WBC champion. I mean, damn near every year from 18, 19, 20, and 20, he got upset by Tyson Fury, so he only wanted to fight Tyson Fury. Which in 2020, he should have listened to Andre Ward. When Andre Ward said, you know what, Deontay, you might need to sit this out. You might need to take a break. You know, let's look for Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, or you take on Anthony Joshua. They offered him $100 million. Oleksandr Usyk never received that amount of money fighting Anthony Joshua in 2 fights, but they offered you a 2-fight deal, really a 3-fight deal, to fight Anthony Joshua on DAZN, and you turned it down only to regret it, to only go on DAZN to fight on Days of Reckoning and fight Zhilei Zhang in the 5 versus 5. All that shit was all aired on DAZN, so you still went to DAZN. And you admitted that AJ offered more money than fighting Tyson Fury, but you gave your word. So your word stripped away your opportunities that you claimed that you never had. That's bullshit. So let's stop that right now. Okay, now I will give you the yang. That was the yin, here's the yang. Oleksandr Usyk, getting the opportunity that he got, he absolutely deserved. However, a lot of people doubted Usyk being successful at heavyweight for a very long time. See, he's in an anomaly now because he was not the overall ideal heavyweight of this day and age. This day and age, we had Joshua 6'6", we had Wilder 6'7", we had Fury 6'9", we have Joyce 6'5", we have Dubois 6'4", we have Arslan Makmarkmanov 6'9". We have some big blokes, okay? And that became the overall ideal of a fighter and what a fighter's supposed to look like. So if you wouldn't pass 6'4", 6'5", 6, you're not going to be successful because you're too small. That's the narrative. That's what the narrative was screaming at everybody. But Oleksandr Usyk being 6'3", 220 pounds, showed everybody otherwise. Okay? He showed us otherwise. So him being dangerous, here's the thing, Wilder. Well, I was dangerous, that's why I didn't get the opportunities. Well, no, you didn't get the opportunities because you allowed your team to talk you out of it. But it didn't mean he wasn't still dangerous. But Oleksandr Usyk was not on that danger level. No one was talking about Usyk knocking out Tyson Fury. Nobody was talking about Usyk knocking out AJ or stopping Dubois. And he beat the shit out of AJ twice. He stopped Dubois, made Dubois quit, and he should have knocked out Tyson Fury in round 9 because the way they called it, it was a bad call by the referee, in my opinion. Okay, so he has punching power, so they didn't perceive him as being dangerous. You see what I mean? Now, Wilder was considered being dangerous, but that's not why he didn't get his opportunities. He didn't get his opportunities because he let and allowed his team to make piss poor decisions for him. Okay, so we should stop the cap. So a 3-year-old statement that Oleksandr Usyk, or damn near 3-year-old statement that Oleksandr Usyk has made, you know, I think this is what's pushing and strengthening this particular desire to fight Usyk from Wilder. But Wilder has to work himself back. He has to fight a lot of people before fighting Usyk, unless, again, Usyk throws him a bone. And if he does, people will wonder why you're fighting the four-time beaten former WBC champion, besides fighting an unbeaten Agit Kabayel, which is the WBC interim champion, or Joseph Parker, which has said to be giving you problems based on his style. Okay, so people will give him a lot of flack if he does pick Deontay Wilder. But you guys tell me what you think of Deontay wanting to work his way back to fighting Oleksandr Usyk. And obviously, he's picking Usyk to beat Dubois because he's not talking about Dubois at all, knowing that they have a fight next month. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch.